got us another battery here. Let's go ahead and get this out of the box and check it out. We got the nice thick foam here. Our manual and post bolts and protective caps. And our battery wrapped in a bag here. All right, what we got here is a lithium iron phosphate 12.8 volt 100 amp hour battery with Bluetooth, and it's self-heating from the folks at Vatrer. Low temperature charging and self-heating. We got your typical logos here, and we got a sticker on the top, serial number, and that's it. We got our protective covers here for our terminal posts. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get this set up. We're going to do a capacity test, and then we're going to see if we can test the low temperature protection. All right, let's go ahead and get this on the charger, and then we'll go over the manual, and then we'll run a capacity test on this, and we'll go from there. I always like to use one of these resistors to pre-charge the capacitors in the inverter before I make the final connection to the battery. You just put that on to touch on both ends for 5 to 10 seconds, and then that prevents you from getting a spark here, possibly damaging your battery or your inverter or any other of your components of your system. All right, we're going to go ahead and test the voltage as it was shipped here, and we're going to use our new Testman meter that folks over at Testman sent me over to try it out, and we'll give it a whirl here. Put our black into our COM port, red into our input port. Turn this on here. Got a nice big screen on it. All right, so I just got it set on auto, and it's going to automatically detect what function I'm trying to do. That makes it real easy to set up. We're going to go ahead and check our voltage here. And we're at 13.31 volts. All right, let's go ahead and get this on the charge here and get it charged up all the way. Again, I really love this auto setting on this. While we have this on the charger, we'll go ahead and test this clamp meter. And it's charging at 17.4 amps, 16 amps, 15 amps. What are you doing here? All right, we're charging this at 20 amps. And you can see as it's getting close to being topped off here, the amperage starts to degrade and gets a smaller and smaller amount of amps until it's fully charged. So we're almost fully charged here. So you can use this function button here to set the function manually, or you can just leave it on auto. I really like that it says auto, so it's probably one of the easiest clamp meters I've ever had. All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different here. Solar conditions have not been all that great for the past week or so, and so I'm going to go ahead and take the power from this battery, run it through this battery charger as my load at 30 amps, and power up my main system and charge my main battery bank from this battery to do this test. Let's go ahead and get that started here. Pump this up to 30 amps, which is the max this charger can do. There we go, 30 amps. Let's go ahead and take a look at this app here. We got this battery completely drained. We just finished the capacity test. We'll just take a look at what we've got as far as the settings. We got your individual cell voltages down here at the bottom, your temperature, current temperature, Let's go ahead and flip this back around and put this on the charger and charge it back up. We're going to get it charged up about halfway, and then we're going to go throw this in the deep freezer and then check the charge protection, the cold temperature charge protection, and make sure that works. You can see here now we've got 29.99 amps of current coming in here, which is 344 watts, the current voltage. And the estimated time, I do like it when the apps have the time estimated at the current rate of charge or discharge, can tell you how long it's going to take you approximately to get there at the current rate. So we'll get this charged up 50%, and then we're going to go throw it in the freezer, and then we'll go over the manual here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, we got this from our freezer here. It's so cold that the bolts are frosty. Let's see what this app says here. And then we're going to hook this up to the charger, and we're going to see how this self-heating works. All right, you can see here it's 10.8 degrees Celsius, so below freezing. I'm not sure why this is showing 100% state of charge. It should be 50% or 53% is what it was when I put it in there. Well, let's plug it up into the charger and see what happens here. So there it is. The charge protection has come on. So all this power, you need to have at least 10 amps of input coming in order to activate the heating feature. And it will not start charging the battery until the battery is up to temperature of 41 degrees Fahrenheit. This is why we're not seeing any of the charge going in here yet, even though I'm putting in 15 amps in order to power the heaters. But we should see this temperature be dropping on the MOSFETs here. We've already lost 1 degree. We're going to go ahead and let this run, and I'll time lapse this, and we'll see how long it takes. You can see the heat from the charger there compared to the frozen battery. So there's the heating pads are on the bottom. So you can see this red patch here is the heating pads being activated. Oh yeah, I can feel it nice and warm there now. Yeah, so it's definitely on the bottom. All right, there we go. The protection's off now. And you can see now the current is going into charging the battery, and you can see the voltages of each of the cells starting to go up now. So the cold temperature protection works, and the heating works, and that's awesome. Took about 24 minutes to go from negative 10 degrees Celsius to up to 5 degrees Celsius to get the charging activated again. So I'm not sure what the deal is there with the displaying 100% on the app, but I continued to charge it, and it charged up just fine. I got all the way to 100%, and then as I tried depleting the battery again, it did kind of calibrate itself and became accurate in the reduction as I went down. I'm not sure how much of that is the fact that I did this by disconnecting the battery and then reconnecting it back up again, which is not really the way that you would do it in a real life scenario. It would be normally on your charger all the time rather than being disconnected and reconnected like that. So that may have something to do with it. I'm really not sure. But I intend to use this battery to power that freezer that you saw that I put this in out there this winter. So look forward to another video, another month or two or so when it starts getting freezing here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it inside that one of those 1000-watt La City power stations that I got, and we're going to see how well this powers one of those freezers and monitor it, monitor the weather and that sort of thing, and we'll make an interesting ongoing video, I believe. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So other than the weird app problem there, I really like this heated battery idea. it really makes a lot of sense in that. I know here when it freezes, it could be bright and sunny, sunshiny day outside, but still stays below freezing all day long. So a battery that had the simple freezing or low temperature disconnect would mean it would not take any power in from the solar panels, even though there was all kinds of solar coming in. So that's where this heated battery idea is a great idea. And then the way it works is you have to have 10 amps coming in to activate the heaters. So, you know, you're going to be missing out maybe the first hour or two of the day that's going to be pulling in the power from the solar panels. It'll activate the heaters to get them up to temperature until they are up to above zero, and then they'll start charging the battery again. So you can actually charge up even though it may be freezing outside or freezing in the location where your batteries are anyway. So depending on where you're storing your batteries, if you're going to keep them in your environment where you're living at, and you keep that above freezing, then you know it may not really be that necessary. But if you're putting them in a compartment down below in your RV or your van, or you just don't use the heater, like I don't like heated air, so a lot of times it's freezing back here in my studio because I have a hard time breathing heated air. So I don't mind the cold. I just put on more jackets and that sort of thing. But I also get frozen batteries, or have the potential to have that happen. So in especially harsh environments, I think the heated battery is a great idea. So this video is getting a little long already. I'm going to go ahead and flip through this manual really quickly. You can just pause the screen and read the manual if you choose to do so. Alright, if you want to see some of my other battery review videos, I'll drop a link to those right here in this playlist. And that's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.